Okay, so sometimes our number bonds, they are missing parts, and we have to think a little harder to be able to fill out our number bonds. So for your Do It Now today, you're going to have the number bonds that we practiced on yesterday's assignment. So we're on 14.7. Okay, so find that and get it out. Let's take a look at the Do It Now for once. Let's just do one. So we would have 2 times 12 would equal 24. Or I can flip that order and say 12 times 2 equals 24. Okay, so just use those number bonds to help you do that. Okay, so that's what you're going to do first. Okay, all right, we're going to take a look first at the worksheet, and then you're going to have another set that you're going to do on your own, but we're going to take a look at this first. We're going to do this whole page together. Okay, so I have 8 and 10 are my factors, so I'm missing my product. So we know that 8 times 10 would be 80, so that is the product that I'm missing. So 80 would go in that top part of my number bond. Okay, so 7 times 1, we know that anything by 1 is just the other number, so my answer would be 7, just like that. 2 times 5, so 5 plus 5, we would know that that is 10, so that would go up top. Okay, now on that middle section, on that first one, we have a factor missing. So we know that anything that has an answer of 0 means that it has been multiplied by 0. So that's just going to be 0 times 10 or 10 times 0. Okay, because anytime we get an answer of 0 means there was a 0 as a factor. Okay, all right, what times 2 would give me 4? What times 2 would give me 4? Or what times 2 would give me 8? Sorry, 4. That's the answer. 4. Okay. Let's see this last one. What times 5 would give me 60? Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're going to have to count up until we get to 60. Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. We've got to 10. 55, 60, so it would be 12. 12 times 5 would give me 60. We also know that on our clock, the 0 and the 60 are on our 12. Okay, all right, good. All right, so now we're going to find the missing parts, and then we have to write the number of sentences to match it. Okay, so what times 10 would give me 50? And I hope that you said 5. Okay, just like that. So we'd have 5 times 10 equals 50, or 10 times 5 equals 50, just like that. Okay, 8 times 2, or 8 plus 8 would be what? 16. So it'd be 2 times 8 equals 16, or we'd flip it, 8 times 2 would equal 16. Okay, and then there was another one we said if we multiply it by this number, the product just becomes that number doubled. So we said anytime we multiply by 11, the other factor is just doubled. So 11 times 5 would be 55. So down here we would write 11 times 5 equals 55, or 5 times 11 equals 55. Okay, so that's how we fill in our missing parts. Okay, now you're going to have a sheet in your packet that looks like this today. Okay, you're only going to have to use one side, so you can just draw an X through one side because you're only going to need to use the one side. Now, in the other parts of your packet, you're going to have these different cards that typically I would make a scoot out of. But because we're home and we're not scooting around the classroom, you're just going to fill these out yourself. So I suggest you do this first. Go through all of your cards first. Okay, so 40, I'm looking at card number A, or letter A. Okay, all right, so what times 10 would give me 40? And I hope you said 4. So just by that little question mark, just write a 4, just so you can go back and see that later. Okay, let's do B together. What times 5 would give me 15? 5, 10, 15, 3. So just write it by the question mark, okay? Those are the only two I'm going to do. The rest you're going to be able to do on your own. But once you get all of your cards answered, go back to this, and you're just going to write, I want you to write an actual sentence to match it, an equation, okay? So I want you to do for A, you would do 4 times 10 equals 40. Bonus points if you can do both, if you can do the commutative property on that, okay? But you're really only required to do one. So B would be 3 times 5 equals 15, okay? So that is what you're gonna go do. Okay, you're gonna finish this section and you're do it now, okay? So remember, you only have to do one side. You can mark out one side because this I would have cut in half for you all if we were in class today, okay? All right, so do your best work. Go back and do that. I suggest you write your answers with those question marks, okay? Do that first. Go do all of your answers first. And then instead of just writing, I want you to actually write a number sentence, okay? And if you can do it, do the commutative property. Do the opposite, okay? So do your best work on that. That is what you have for 14.7. And don't forget those review pages. There's a review packet in your folder, and you need to be doing those as well, okay? So do your best work.